second time in 3 years as they go for their fourth state championship in school history. Tonight it's Kimball and John Jay for the 5A crown on Fox Sports Net. And you're looking live at the state capitol in Austin, Texas. A beautiful night outside, kind of cool, but the action has been hot all day inside the Frank Irwin Center on the campus of the University of Texas as the UIL crowned state champions for 2002. Tonight, the 5A championship game between San Antonio John Jay and the Knights of Dallas Kimball. Hi, everybody. I'm Randy McAvoy. Thanks for being with us tonight. The fifth and final state championship game inside the Irwin Center. I'm joined by Jim Haller. And Jim, if you look at this matchup, if you blink too often, maybe grab a refreshment, you're going to miss some great basketball tonight.
I agree with you, Randy. This is going to be a dandy. Terrific athleticism on the court. Lots of speed, lots of quickness, and there will be lots of action above the rack.
Let's take a look, few things about San Antonio John Jay. Fifth appearance in the state tournament, third time in school history to reach the finals. They want to go home with the hardware.
Hey, the important thing about this ball club, they're playing their best basketball of the season. They upset Hightower last night. Most people thought they did not have a chance. They handled the full court pressure of Hightower as good as any high school team I've seen in years.
One heck of a front line for San Antonio John Jay. Patrick Fields, Steve Goff lead the way.
Well, this is the two biggest Mustangs. They combined for 59 points last night. What was so incredible about that? They did it on 22 of 29 field goal attempts. Their team shot 58%. They also combined for 18 rebounds. So, indeed, they are very important to the Mustang cause.
Romy Vela, the head coach, hopes they have the hot hand tonight. Romy says it's been an all-around effort for the Stangs to get here.
It's been a long journey. It really has. I feel like we've had tremendous support from the community, great principal, a great athletic director. Our football coach he's never missed a game. He's been behind us 100%, you know. And so, but these kids, they just amaze me. They've talked all along about, since they were freshmen, how they were going to come to the state tournament. And by gosh, here they are.
Yeah, they certainly are, and so are the Kimball Knights coming in 29-6, Jim, full of tradition when you talk about this program.
Well, absolutely. You combine what Kimball has done with Willow Ridge, those are the teams of the 90s. Kimball expects to be here every year. They expect to go down I-35 to Austin. As you say, they've got great tradition with great players.
We talk about the front line from John Jay. How about the front line from Kimball? Jason Rabb and DeMarquez Rembert, two quality players for Royce Johnson.
Well, Rembert and Rabb were both huge last night for Kimball. They led the comeback. Rembert helped them early. He had 13 points and 7 rebounds in the first 16 minutes of action. But Rabb, what he did in the last quarter was incredible. He had 12 points alone in the last 8 minutes. Both of these guys will be big, big here tonight.
Royce Johnson, head coach of Kimball, been the head coach since 1999. Here's what he had to say to his players before the game tonight.
It's who wants it the most. You know, both teams want it real bad, and it's going to be back and forward, you know, back and forth, back and forth. But at the end, somebody's going to, you know, look at the score going into the fourth, and they're going to say, you know, we've done a lot of little things this season, a lot of extra work, a lot of early morning practices, and 6:30 and 6 o'clock and whatever, you know. Let's leave it out here on the floor.
Dallas Kimball going after their fourth state championship in school history. Royce Johnson wants #1. Will he get it? We'll find out. It's time for a break. When we come back, starting lineups and opening tip for the Class 5A state championship on Fox Sports Net.
5A state championship, let's go now!
Austin set to tip off the 5A state championship ball game tonight. What a day of basketball it's been, Jim. It started bright and early this morning. 5 state champions crowned today.
Well, that last game we saw, of course, featured the nation's #1 ranked team, 4A champ Dallas Lincoln.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the John Jay Mustangs. At the forward positions, we talk about Patrick Fields, Steve Goff. At the post, it's Chris Bivens. Bivens, a senior 6'3" center. At guard is Chris Ross, the leader of this basketball team, and Jeff Davis, and of course Romy Vela, the head coach, his 4th year at San Antonio, John Jay. And the starting lineups for the Kimball Knights. Coming into the state championship game, DeMarquez Rimbert, Jason Rabb at forward, Alexander Starr, what an athlete he is. Fred Campbell, A.C. Law at the guard slots for Kimball Knights. And Royce Johnson, the head coach of the Kimball Knights, came on board in 1999, and that year he led his team to the state tournament before losing to Duncanville in the championship. And how about these guys?
Well, key
Jim?
contributors for sure. Chris Ross played one of the best floor games I've ever seen last night when they upset Hightower. He is their quarterback in football. He's a great quarterback on the floor. A.C. Law for Kimball. He's their best outside shooter by far. He has 44 threes on the season. He's the guy John Jay has to guard out of their zone defense. He's the three-point shooter.
All right, again, up-tempo style expected tonight from both teams. Both are ready to go, and we're tipping off the 5A state championship in Austin.
Well, what a matchup out front. Campbell and Ross, 2 terrific point guards.
Chris Bivens inside. No good, but Goff right there for the rebound.
Well, nice extension right there on the offensive putback for Goff. He had 28 last night in that big victory for John Jay. Very quick, good hops. Now Jay is starting in that matchup zone 2-3, just as we expected. It was very effective last night for the Mustangs.
Yeah, you said it was a well-coached zone defense as well.
Well, they do a terrific job of adjusting out of it. Right there, you can see Chris Ross expecting the return pass.
Ross taking it in, no good right there. Fred Campbell with the rebound, whistle on the play.
Well, Chris Ross made a terrific steal there, but as he came down the floor, probably should have used his left hand, shielded the defense a little bit better, tried to do the scoop to the hoop on the reverse side. Didn't get the finish after all the hard work.
How important are the first few minutes of a game of this magnitude? Well, both Knights state championship.
Absolutely, both ball clubs have got to be slightly nervous, even though they played on this court last night. A lot of adrenaline, but it is very important to get a good start. Although you couldn't prove it by Kimball last night. They got way behind and came back in the fourth quarter.
Rabb with the miss, but Rimbert right there for the putback for the Kimball Knights. Tied at 2.
Rimbert had 10 rebounds last night, so he's very effective board man for the Knights. Oh, how about that move right there? Patrick Fields, he was the big guy last night, had 31 points, picking up where he left off here this evening.
Yeah, he missed only 2 shots in that semifinal round. 11 of 13 for the field, kind of picking up where he left off.
Nice job of always pressuring the ball out of this zone. A lot of teams do not rotate quick enough, but Jay has all the right rotations.
Goff with the block and the rebound there. Good defensive presence down there. Down low for John Jay. We're going the other way. Top of the key for Goff.
Yeah, don't think he's just a 6'8" post man that goes block to block. Nice job of popping out. And neither one of these ball clubs are big three-point shooters. John Jay last night just attempted 6. Kimball only attempted 9 in their semifinal game.
Rabb no good. Goff with another rebound for John Jay.
Nobody on the offensive glass for Kimball right there. They're a good rebounding team. That's one of the keys. Jay's got to keep him off the offensive board.
Little contact there between Goff and Rabb. No whistle. That one goes down for Goff. 6 early points for the 6'8" senior. And John Jay out to the quick 8-2 lead.
Well, the only 2 points for Kimball early came right here. You've got DeMarquez Rimbert going back up for the putback. But how about Goff? Steve Goff for John Jay leading the way. He's got, what, 6 out of their first 8.
Let's take a look at the game plan coming in now for San Antonio, John Jay. What needs to happen to get a win tonight?
Well, I think John Jay, if they can handle pressure as well as they did last night, they've got a good chance to get their first state championship. They've got to keep Kimball off the offensive glass. Kimball last night had 19 offensive boards.
And for the Kimball Knights, a team that held on to the basketball in their semifinal win, only 6 turnovers against Midland Lee yesterday.
They did a terrific job, and I think they've got to have good shot selection against this Jay zone defense we're watching, and they must force turnovers. That's what a lot of their success is predicated on.
AC Law for 3. His first shot goes down tonight.
A smooth left-hander. He is, I said earlier, their best outside marksman. He's the only, one of 2 juniors in the starting lineup for Kimball. Goodness gracious, Mr. Goff. Get all these college scouts here tonight. You think they're not noticing this big guy, 6'8". When he puts on about 20 pounds, he's going to be something else.
Steve Goff with 8 of Jay's first 10 tonight. Alexander Starr no good. Gets his own rebound though. Nice foul.
Well, there's that Kimball offensive board work. Jay's got to keep them off that offensive board. There's where we're talking about the quarterback, Chris Ross. Nice penetration, good kickoff to Fields, breaking down the baseline. Nice teamwork there for the Mustangs. Bivens broke down that left baseline. Nice move.
Jason Rabb whistled for the foul for Dallas Kimball, his first of the night. Bivens to the free throw line. Very, very important to knock down those free throws, and Jay did not do a good job of that last night.
That was the one flaw in their ball game last night. They shot very, very poorly from the free throw stripe. In fact, they were only 21 out of 40.
Bivens averaging nearly 9 points a game, nearly 6 rebounds. He's a senior.
Now, he's the second leading rebounder on the ball club.
And we want to welcome those who have been watching the Baylor Bears beat and the Oklahoma Sooners in the Big 12 Women's Championship game. The Sooners win the conference championship with the win over Baylor. Welcome to Austin in the 5A state championship. Nice block right there by Alexander Starr, and here comes the break for the Knights. In and out for Law, but there's Starr again.
Now there's that key to the game that I keep harping on. Kimball is a terrific offensive rebounding ball club. John Jay, which is really bigger physically, needs to keep them off the glass.
Alexander Starr with 10 rebounds yesterday, Jim, 7 on the offensive glass.
Now, he is a terrific athlete, great speed and quickness and good hops.
Jeff Davis driving, and the dish to Bivens. Fields couldn't do anything with it. Goff, 3 more.
He is on fire here early. What is that, 11 points here in the first 5 minutes of the ball game? What an effort.
Steve Goff 5 for 5 shooting so far tonight. What a start. He told me if you shoot around today, my back's kind of hurting a little bit.
Well, he just averages 18 points per game on the season. Came up with 28 last night and on fire here to start the state championship contest.
AC Law with the miss. Jeff Davis in their good position for that rebound. And
well, Jeff Davis is the kid we have to watch closely for John Jay. He sprained his ankle in practice or end of last night's game.
We'll watch that closely. Time for a break. Jay leading by 6, 2:40 left in the first. Game is brought to you by the University Interscholastic League. By your Texas Dodge dealers, official sponsors of the Dodge Lone Star Cup. By Pepsi, a proud sponsor of the Texas High School Championships. By Verizon Wireless, simple, affordable, national. And by State Farm, be sure to pick up your commemorative poster featuring a history of Texas high school football champions. John Jay, they can definitely break this press.
Well, do a terrific job. Watch right here, Steve Goff. He's going to find the open spot down the floor. Jay, as they did last night, masterful in attacking pressure defense. Good job right here by Patrick Fields getting the ball. Can see the double team right here. He will bring it on. split the defense, get the ball around to the opposite side of the court for Goff's wide open baseline jumper. 2 of Goff's 11 points so far here in the first 6 minutes of the game.
Textbook when it comes to breaking that press. Dallas Kimball, 6 of their 9 points are off second chances. So Kimball getting it done on that end.
Kimball in a 1-2-2 half-court trapping defense right now. Jay so poised, so calm, attack everything very efficiently. Yeah, I bragged on them too soon. They didn't do that last night.
AC Law with the steal, and it goes down. AC Law with a 3-point opportunity.
Terrific D right there by Law. Steps into the passing lane, takes it the full length of the court. Nice job off the glass for the Kimball Knights.
AC Law is 6'2" junior. Free throw goes down. The 18th ranked junior in Texas. They've got some talent at Kimball.
Yeah, Mike Kunstadt's Texas Hoops has him ranked the number 18 junior in the state of Texas, certainly showing us why here in the state tournament this season.
Ross with the turnover. Back come the Knights. Out of bounds, but the whistle called shortly before that.
Kimball can turn it on so quickly with their pressure defense. Very, very quick. Good hands. Terrific anticipation.
Two minutes left in the first.
Jay staying in this 2-3 matchup zone alignment has held Kimball to just 12 points here in the first 6 minutes.
AC Law again for Kimball. That's now 8 for the junior.
Law had 13 last night, getting off to a much better start here this evening.
Jay with plenty of opportunities, and Goff finally gets his hands on it again and draws the whistle.
Well, talking about offensive board prowess, we've talked about how good Kimball is in that aspect of the game. Good job right there by John Jay. 3 offensive putback opportunities. Weren't able to convert, but nice effort. Goff is such a quick jumper. This youngster gets a little bit stronger. He will be a force to contend with for some college.
4 of Jay's 5 starters are seniors, so it's going to be time to reload next year for Romy Vela, but he feels good about the direction his program is going.
The only junior in the starting lineup is Chris Ross, who's their point guard, and he's a good one to have back. 13 first quarter points now for Steve Goff. What a start.
Number 2, London Thibodeau, a junior guard, checking in for Dallas Kimball. In for Jason Rabb. Give him a quick spell.
A nice block right there by Goff. Came out of the middle in the zone. Could see John Jay trapping on the wings for the first time last night. Let's watch big number 12, Steve Goff, for John Jay. Come over to help out of the zone defense. Nice team D by the Mustangs.
It's all about knowing where to be, right? You got to know the place.
Well, you've got to anticipate. You've got to pay attention to that scouting report. Know what your opponent likes to do. Obviously, both ball clubs well prepared here this evening. Good cut right there to the basket by Patrick Fields. He had 31 last night.
That's 4 so far tonight for Fields. Right through the lane, wide open. 4-point lead now for the Mustangs. Under minutes to play here at the Irwin Center in Austin, the 5A state championship. Thibodeau right off the bench.
Well, Thibodeau did a good job, see, flashing into the middle of that zone. Saw that crease, saw the opening, did a nice job of squaring up and drilling it.
Loose ball, scramble, the Knights get it. AC Law. Kyle Ward wanted that one, wouldn't go down, draws the foul.
Continuing to change defenses is something that Kimball does very, very well. They changed that time to a 2-1-2 look at half court with the trap. Nice job on the theft. Kimball picking up the pace right here. We talked about the athleticism on this court tonight. You can see good examples of it so far.
And that is something Romy Vela does not want to see. 2 personal fouls on his big guy, Steve Goff. Again, already a dozen tonight in the first quarter.
Well, Goff has 12 of Jay's 18 points. I would say he's very important, partner.
How much do you take a chance now in a game? Actually, they bring him out right now. Do you expect him to be out very long, or do you take chances in a title game?
I think they'll let him settle down. They've got 20 seconds to go in the remainder of this first quarter, and then let him maybe sit out a minute or two in the second quarter and get him back in there.
More pressure from Kimball. Having a lot of success causing turnovers. Here's another one.
Hey, this is very smart what Coach Royce Johnson's doing for Kimball. Last night, John Jay had so much success against full court pressure from Fort Bend Hightower. Here tonight, Kimball is hurting them with the traps around midcourt, dropping back a little bit, shortening that court, using their quickness in a smaller area. Good strategy after watching last night's game.
He was telling us before the game, when you see a team get comfortable out there, it's time to mix it up a little bit, and he expects to do that most of the game
I like
tonight.
that comment Coach Johnson made. He said, keep them off balance, don't let them get in rhythm. That's what changing defenses is all about, and Kimball does it so well.
Oh, nearly goes down.
That brought the biggest roar of the night from the crowd. That was a 75-foot shot. What an effort.
Patrick Fields with the near bullseye at the end of the first quarter at the Irwin Center in Austin. Let's take one more look at this, Jim.
Now, this isn't how he got 2 of his 30 or 3 of his 31 last night, but what an effort right there. That's like a pinball machine right there. Everywhere but in.
After one, Jay by 1 over Kimball. We're back in a minute. It starts with NASCAR this morning on Fox Sports Net. Tomorrow morning from Atlanta. That's followed by the NASCAR stop presented by Home Depot on the Fox Network. 12:30 Eastern time start there. And then back to Fox Sports Net for NASCAR Victory Lane. All access at 9 o'clock. It's all Sunday on Fox Sports Net. And a happy birthday to Chris Ross.
That's what you talk about, a proud mama right there. That's Chris Ross's mother up there holding that sign. What a birthday it would be if he could garner a state crown to go with it.
Have a little medal around his neck as he heads back to San Antonio. Start of the second quarter, John Jay with a 1-point lead over Kimball.
Jay staying in the zone defense, up by 1 at the end of 1. Jay's only flaw so far is 4 first quarter turnovers. They're shooting 58% again. That's what they shot for the game last night. But remember, in the first half, partner, they shot 71% against Hightower. So they're taking up where they left off.
And John Jay so far out rebounding Kimball in that first quarter, 9-5. So a good start on the boards for the Mustangs. Kimball brings it inbounds. Down 1. Loose ball. Goff picks it up.
Now, Goff didn't stay out long. Romy said, hey, I've got to have the big fella in there. Just be a little more careful. Let's don't be picking up foul number 3. Then we really will be in trouble.
Goff baseline, 2 more.
That's 14 right there. 14 of the 20 by John Jay.
So far, no answer, and Royce Johnson has seen enough. Jason Walker set to check in for the Knights. Big 6'7" kid.
You know, Steve Goff is getting it done for Jay in every way. From the perimeter, he's doing it off the glass, he's doing it on turnaround jumpers. Just quite a show so far by the 6'8" senior, Steve Goff.
Jeff Davis with the ball for John Jay. You mentioned going to keep a close eye on his ankle situation as Jay turns the ball over. Back comes Kimball.
That's turnover number 5 for the Mustangs. Take a look at Steve Goff now, by far the game's leading scorer. We're going to see 2 of his 14. Take a look right here. Nice job of putting the ball on the floor, taking it strong. Best of all right there, good body control. Did not take a chance on the charge. Jumped up and over the Kimball Knight defense. A terrific pass right there over the top of that zone defense.
Brett Campbell couldn't hold on to it. Here comes Patrick Fields and John Jay.
Well, Fields did a good job of splitting the defense, just didn't get the shot off like he wanted to. Good D by Kimball.
DeMarquez Rembert says, hey, I'm going to take it myself and lay it in. 4 points now in the ball game for DeMarquez Rimbert, averaging 13 coming in.
Yeah, he had a big game last night in the semifinals, 17 points and 10 rebounds. Very consistent performer for the Kimball Knights.
Chris Ross to pivots.
Oh, how about that penetration? Great body control. Chris Ross, quarterback in football, quarterback in basketball. Great job.
Alexander Starr on the other end for Kimball with an easy lay-in. That's 6 now for Starr, and Jay turns it over again.
Watch this penetration now by Chris Ross coming into the paint for the Mustang cause. Nice spin, nice dish, nice finish. Good teamwork right there. Caught the Knights napping on defense.
22nd timeout. John Jay with a 22-21 lead, under 6 minutes to play here in the first half. Frank Irwin Center. 6 early turnovers for John Jay as opposed to 2 for Kimball. Tonight's game brought to you by Gatorade. Gatorade. Is it in you? San Antonio with the short trip down here. Good contingent of fans from the Alamo City area. They like to be accustomed to coming down here year in and year out, and Romy Vela awfully excited about the way his program is coming together. He talks about the tremendous support he receives from the administration in San Antonio.
Well, when you get to the state final 4 or 5 of the last 14 years, your school should get good support, and I always like to hear a coach bragging on that support that he gets from the community, and certainly them and Kimball both have tremendous followings. Kimball's been to the state tournament 6 out of the last 14 or 15 years, so 2 ball clubs steeped in great high school basketball tradition.
Yeah, the Mustangs, the John Jay Mustangs, all these guys have played together, or been in school together, I should say, since elementary. They know each other pretty well.
Coach Vela was telling us early on, all 5 of the starters were in elementary school together. They've been talking about this forever. They reached their goal. Now they would certainly like to cap it with a state championship. But Kimball has the same thought, believe me. That Kimball Knights is a ball club that expects to come down I-35 every year and be right here at the state tournament.
Yeah, you got to come ready to work if you want to play for Royce Johnson. Definitely some great tradition at Kimball.
Well, Royce Johnson's part of that tradition. He was the point guard on their 1990 state championship team. Now, that championship team saw the coach of that team here earlier today, Jimmy Tubbs, the assistant at SMU, was the mentor of that group.
London Thibodeau with his 2nd bucket of the night. Contributing off the bench for the Knights so far.
Kimball got down early, but have fought their way back to take the lead now. Defense has been the key, not giving John Jay the easy looks they saw in the first part of the contest.
That bucket by Thibodeau gave Kimball its first lead of the ball game. Here at the 4:28 mark of the 2nd quarter, 23-22. Kimball with the first leader of the ball game.
You think turnovers don't play a big part in the contest. Jay has 6 turnovers to only 2 for Kimball, yet Jay shooting 60% to 45 for Kimball. There's turnover number 7 last night. How many turnovers did they have, Randy, last night?
They had 19 turnovers. It's hard to. They broke the press well, but they still coughed it up, and it's tough to win when you cough it up.
They did a great job of attacking. That was the key.
AC Law, the dish. Jason Walker can't get it to go. Back come the Mustangs. Really a travel by Chris Jones. Law will finish off the break.
AC Law puts him, what's he got now? He's in double figures.
10 points now for AC
Law. 10 points, terrific start. He's the 2nd leading scorer on this Kimball Knight ball club. We mentioned earlier one of the top 20 juniors in the state in the pre-college rankings.
6-0 run now by Kimball, gives him a 3-point lead. And at the pace that Kimball plays, and even John Jay for that matter, a lead is not safe for the basketball game. We saw that yesterday.
You know, we keep talking about ball handling. We haven't complimented Kimball enough. You said earlier they only had 6 turnovers last night in their victory over Midland Lee. Only 2 here so far tonight.
Jason Walker gets a piece of that Chris Ross shot. Goff with the rebound off the miss for John Jay.
Now good strong hands right there by Chris Ross. Kimball Knights were going for the steal, but Chris did a good job of protecting the basketball.
Breaking away from the Irwin Center. 2:49 left in the first half. Kimball by 3. In Austin, Texas. Little flashback time. Of course, some great games over the years, Jim, in state championship history. Here's a good one from 1996 in the Kimball Knights.
Well, this was against Euless Trinity from the Metroplex right there. 2 Metroplex ball clubs fighting for the championship. Who is that fella right there presenting the gold medal? Does that look like our president partner?
Yeah, he's just a tad busy these days.
Yeah, absolutely. Huh? But that was the first of 2 consecutive state championships for the Kimball Knights under the tutelage of Gorey Johnson. That's the father of Royce Johnson. Of course, Royce at that time was an assistant on that ball club under Dad Gorey.
Nice guy to learn from. Pressure there from Kimball. Goff again. Finally misses a shot, huh?
Well, Steve Goff was about 2 steps outside the tray line. Not the normal shooting territory for a 6'8" center. Kimball now in a 2-2-1 full court pressure defense. See how John Jay responds. They've got to get somebody into the middle to attack it.
I was going to ask you, what's the key here?
Well, right there, Patrick Fields did it. He got it right into the middle. He did such a great job of that last night. One of the reasons he had 31 points for the John Jay Mustangs.
Fields no good. Rembert with the rebound. His 3rd of the ball game for the Kimball Knights. Go up by 3. 2:04 counting left in the first half of the 5A state championship.
We talk about Stein right there. Nice pass up and over the zone defense.
Goff got a hand on it there, but Rembert right there for the easy
Alexander Starr went up, got the pass, kicked it back down. We talked about the athleticism on display here tonight. Certainly we're seeing lots of it. Oh, Steve Goff continuing his full arsenal of weapons here this evening. What a show the big guy's putting on.
Putting on a clinic.
17 first half points now. 17 points and 5 rebounds for the tallest man on the floor.
AC Law with the turnover. Fields grabs it and hands off to the general.
You know, Randy, Steve Goff, who we're watching put on this display here tonight, he was the number 30 ranked senior in the state at the start of the year by Mike Kunstock's Texas Hoops. I believe his ranking's going to go up after this tournament.
No doubt about it. A lot of folks, a lot of scouts here watching these guys. And
yeah, watch Steve Goff right here. Now, we're talking about a 6'8" youngster pulling up on the jumper from outside tray land. What an exhibition he's putting on this evening.
He is not bashful about shooting that basketball.
I would venture to say his scholarship opportunities are probably booming right now. As you said, lots of college scouts. We've seen Ray McCallum, the head coach of the University of Houston here. We saw Mike Dement from SMU.
Brad Doherty of University of North Carolina.
Yeah, Matt Doherty from North Carolina. We've seen him. Just part of the huge crowds that the state tournament enjoys at every session.
Ray McCallum fresh off that impressive finish.
That was a big victory for his program. Ray McCallum in only his 2nd year at the University of Houston.
Season's over, but the recruiting season just beginning for the college coaches. Under a minute to play now. Kimball up by 2 over John Jay. Ward with the miss there. John Jay coming back down. Do you sit on it here and get one last shot? What do you do?
Well, I think John Jay would be smart to do that, but if they get the pure wide open look like Jeff Davis right there, why not? You're that balanced up. That young man we know is a good shooter. We saw him hit 2 threes last night in their upset over Hightower, so nice decision.
One of the leaders on this Jay team, Jeff Davis, an ankle injury, was not in good shape this morning, had some treatment.
in nearby Maynard, Texas, and says the ankle's feeling pretty good. He called it a miracle treatment. Right. A nice do right there by Goff.
And Walker finishes the half for the Kimball Knights on a positive note.
There's that offensive glass work that we keep talking about, one of Kimball's primary strengths, partner.
Kimball heading to the locker room with a 29-28 lead in the 5A state championship. Let's look at it again.
A battle that just goes back and forth right here. Walton getting the finish. Nice job once again for the Kimball Knights on the offensive glass, putting them up by 1 at intermission.
A couple reserves coming through for the Kimball Knights, and they nurse a 1-point lead going to the break. We are breaking away. We're at the half in Austin. Kimball 29-28. Halftime festivities coming up. Austin. Dallas Kimball up 29-28 as they head to the locker room. Halftime festivities continue, and we'll update you on what's happening. We're back live at the Frank Irwin Center in Austin at the half. 29-28 is your score. Randy McAvoy alongside Jim Haller. And Jim, the Class 4A game. Several games today, but the Class 4A game very much hyped between Dallas Lincoln and Beaumont Ozan earlier today.
Randy, I was really looking forward to seeing the nation's #1 ranked high school team, and they certainly showed today they were very worthy of that ranking.
Beaumont Ozan known for Kendrick Perkins. Dallas Lincoln, several athletes, including that guy, Chris Bosch there. Jim?
Well, the 6'10" senior can run like a deer, jumps out of the gym, but how about the big guy for Beaumont Ozan, Kendrick Perkins? He had 21 today with 15 rebounds. Good jump hook right there, 6'11", 260 pounds of talent. But how about Chris Bosch again for the #1 ranked Lincoln Tigers? And right there, Brian Hopkins, their terrific point guard who injured his ankle, but still flew through the air for that terrific dunk. Yeah. And the celebration begins for the 40-0 nation's #1 ranked Dallas Lincoln Tigers.
Kendrick Perkins finishes with 20. Chris Bosch, the MVP, finishes with 21. Dallas Lincoln caps off just an incredible season. Congratulations to them. We'll recap the other state championships at some point during the second half as well. Now, let's take a look at the first half of San Antonio John Jay and Dallas Kimball. Up and down tempo. We kind of got that in the first half.
Well, we've talked repeatedly about the terrific athleticism on both ball clubs. We've seen great defense, terrific transition basketball, great work on the boards. The difference in the game, Kimball up by 1 because of a few too many turnovers by the John Jay Mustangs.
Yeah, and John Jay led by a man by the name of Mr. Goff, and what a hot hand he had in that first half. He has 2 early fouls on that first quarter, stayed out of foul trouble in that second quarter, so he's in pretty good shape.
Well, Steve Goff has 17 points, and he's hit them inside, outside. He's been the show for John Jay.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights here at the Irwin Center. First half stats, I should say. John Jay shooting 52%. Turnovers a problem, though, and Kimball taking advantage of those turnovers, Jim.
Well, the big point right there, turnovers 9-5. Kimball has 20 points in the paint, also off of the offensive rebound prowess. The game's tied 14-14 on the boards, but 7 of Kimball's are on the offensive glass. That and the turnover problem has been the big problem for John Jay.
It's a 1-point game. Kimball leading San Antonio John Jay 29-28. Should be an exciting second half in Austin, and we'll have it for you straight ahead. Okay. No, that's okay. Okay. Yes.
So we don't have anything on Law. He's got 10. He's their leading scorer. Okay.
Fields is only 4. Yeah. Hey, welcome back to Austin. Halftime nearly wrapped up. About to start the third quarter. Kimball 29-28 lead over San Antonio. John Jay. Take a look at the first half there, Jim. Steve Goff, the man.
Well, he's done it so many ways. Right there, we see him burying a three. Here, doing a nice job of putting the ball on the floor. 6-8, making it happen for the John Jay Mustangs. There on the nice pass, the kick out to Jeff Davis. Those are the two leaders for John Jay. Mr. Rimbert, DeMarquez Rimbert, seeing right here 4 of his 6 points in the first half of action for the Kimball Knights.
AC Law, the leading scorer for Kimball at the half with 10 points. Battle of the boards, all even at 13. Turnovers are the problem for John Jay. 9 in the first half, only 5 for Kimball. As we break down the leading scorers in the first half.
Well, AC Law for Kimball, of course, he's knocked down a couple of threes. He's their leading scorer here tonight, second leading scorer on the season.
Here comes Fred Campbell for Kimball after the turnover. Stops and pops.
Now that's the kind of start the Knights are looking for right there. Fred Campbell, not a big scorer for Kimball. He had 0 points the first half here tonight. Good start in the third quarter. Now Kimball now in a half-court zone defense. See how John Jay reacts and getting good pressure out front. Alexander Starr is a big presence out there in the front of that 1-2-2 zone defense. Jay did not look comfortable that time against that 1-2-2.
Fields with his foot on the line. Another turnover for John Jay. What kind of adjustments do you make? That's part of what Royce Johnson does. He throws a lot of things at you, doesn't he?
Well, he'll play 5 or 6 different types of defenses throughout a ball game. As we talked in the first half, he does it to keep you off balance. Do not let your opponent establish a rhythm that they're comfortable with. He's doing a good job with that here tonight.
Two quick turnovers here early in the third quarter for John Jay. 11 in the game now.
Jay has played a lot of man-to-man defense throughout the season, but here this evening, I guess because of the terrific quickness by Kimball, they've elected to go zone most of the ball game.
Rimbert no good. Fields with a hand on it.
Now Patrick Fields did a good job of establishing defensive rebounding position out of that zone. Kimball, as usual, crashing the offensive glass very hard.
Grab in there as well, went off his hand.
Okay, let's see what Kimball does there in this 1-2-2 now, three-quarter court trapping defense. John Jay last night did such a good job of getting the ball to the middle against these traps. Good hands by Steve Goff.
Yep, Davis. Nice little move to pull up. Doesn't look like that ankle's holding him up too much. He said it was sore, though, before the game.
He's a nice spot-up shooter. He plays a terrific role for this John Jay ball club. Very calm, very poised.
Well, he was emotional last night because he really didn't think he'd be able to play tonight.
Steve Goff, again, the man of the hour so far for the John Jay Mustangs. Pulling off rebound number 6 to go with his game-leading 17 points. Patrick Fields a little quick right there. Took the step before he took the bounce.
Jim, you break the trap like Jay just did at that point. There's going to be somebody open.
Well, and that's what Patrick Fields did so well last night against Hightower. Broke into the middle of that pressure zone trapping defense, but there just scooted that pivot foot a little too quickly.
AC Law way off the mark. Goff with another rebound. Good pressure there by Jeff Davis on Law.
Well, that was unusual right there. Kimball does not take many bad shots. That was a little quick. Neither one of these ball clubs rely on the three-point shot a great deal. Kimball only attempted 9 threes last night. John Jay only attempted 6. So these ball clubs are not predicated on outside shooting success. Mr. Goff, as you called him earlier, he deserves that kind of respect for his performance here tonight.
Yeah, he's Mr. in my book.
Yep, 19 already. Out of John Jay's 32.
You got to wonder if he can keep up this hot touch. Jay's got to spread it around a little bit more.
Well, if you've got a hot hand, keep going to him. And Goff is in the right place at the right time. Does a good job of finding the holes in that defense.
Davis No good. Goff with a hand on it, but Kimball, AC Law with it. Feeds to Campbell.
Oh, beautiful job right there in transition. Law gets it to the middle as he's supposed to. Campbell breaking hard from the left wing. Perfect transition.
No good for Goff. Law there for the rebound. Nice outlet to Starr for the jam.
How about the great hands by Alexander Starr right there. Good pass up the floor. Terrific court awareness by the Knights. Yeah, right there. Unfortunate for John Jay. Chris Ross breaking into the middle as he was supposed to, but Fields passes it behind him.
13 turnovers now for San Antonio. John Jay, AC Law. Look at this pass.
Nice pass. Look at him. Look up the floor right here. Hitting Campbell, breaking tough to the bucket. Nice job right there by the Kimball Knights.
Kimball by 3 in the third quarter from Austin. We're back in a minute.
Not only in the program, he just had a big-time stamp on our family. You know, a lot of the things I stand for and, you know, the Kimball program stand for, you know, our family stood for it, you know, as far as being together and, you know, supporting each other and just giving our best. You know, that's all we can give, you know. We don't have anything left after your best, you know. That's the whole thing. Since we was little kids, he just say, hey, if you're not going to give your best, don't do it.
Another old coach trying to talk about the game right there. Goree Johnson, one of the great gentlemen of high school coaching in Texas, had great success at Dallas Roosevelt before going over to Kimball High School. Now he's the assistant athletic director for the Dallas Independent School District. Just a terrific gentleman. And nice thing about Goree and Royce both, their principles are outstanding. They instill all the good things about life with their coaching.
Great basketball family and great tradition at Kimball High School. AC Law pulls up, off mark, rebound by Patrick Fields.
So far, John Jay doing a better job on the defensive boards. Kimball had 7 offensive rebounds in the first half. John Jay obviously putting a lot of emphasis on that area here to begin the last 16 minutes of action.
What do you like about this zone by Kimball?
Well, so far it's been very effective right there. Now, you can't let Jeff Davis square up and shoot that easily. Got to keep a hand in a pure shooter's face, especially out of the zone. He spots up very well.
Two well-coached teams, it appears, just watching these guys. They know where to be on the floor.
Well, lots of strategy being displayed here tonight on the part of both ball clubs.
AC Law inside, Jason Rabb.
Well, I'm impressed. AC Law so far tonight's been very outstanding with his assists. Good floor leadership. I'd heard he was primarily an offensive threat, a good shooter, but playing a terrific all-around game here tonight.
Ooh, the first 2 points from Jason Rabb.
This is
21 the other night, last night against Midland League.
This is why AC Law is considered one of the top 20 juniors in the state right there, kicking it off nicely to Jason Rabb. Take a look at AC Law now, getting the ball right there at the free throw line. Didn't force the shot, saw his open teammate. Nice kickoff to Jason Rabb.
This Ross out to Davis. Won't go. Law with a rebound. Here come the Knights.
Well, nice follow. Don't ever give up now. But how about that fast break basketball by Kimball? Get it to the middle. 2 guys fill the outside lanes. Break hard to the bucket. Then they had the nice follow.
Nice transition. 4 guys back in a hurry for the Knights. Goff up for the shot. He was hacked in the act. He's going to go to the free throw line. AC Law whistled for the foul. It'll be his second tonight.
Steve Goff, the offensive show so far for the John Jay Mustangs, 19 of their 34. Obviously over half of their production here in the ball game so far.
First one off the front iron. Talking to Steve Goff at the shoot-around gym today. It's been a difficult week. His grandmother passed away in Georgia. He was in Savannah on Monday and returned to San Antonio in time for practice, and he told me today all she wanted me to do is win a state championship. So an emotional week for Goff.
Well, he's an outstanding young man. When you talk to both of these coaches, they talk about the outstanding character on their ball clubs. When we were talking, for example, to Romy Vela, he was talking about how they're all active in community and civic work. And certainly he said Steve Goff was a perfect example of that.
Rabb attempted that follow jam. He got up there in a hurry, didn't he?
We said there'd be lots of actions above the rim here tonight. Athletic ability galore.
Fields, too hard, gets the follow. That won't go down. A third try will go.
A nice job by Patrick Fields. He's a little bit frustrated. He had that 31-point outing last night where he was just on fire. Only missed 2 shots all night long to get the 31 points. You can tell he's a little bit tense right now. Not playing as under control as he did last night.
Saw that stat. Kimball winning the battle of the offensive boards, but Fields gets one there. Nice entry pass. Rabb won't go down. Out of bounds. Kimball holds on to it. .59 ticks left in the third quarter here in Austin. Kimball nursing a 3-point lead.
Let's see how Kimball attacks this 2-3 zone now out of the out-of-bounds play. A lot of times you can find a crease. AC Law was on the toss in.
Rembert misses. Kimball still controls. Good job on the boards for the Knights.
AC Law showing terrific quickness right here, splitting the defense.
Fouls on Jays 20. Chris Jones is first, team second.
Very cleanly played quarter so far. Each team only has 2 fouls. Very quick game so far.
Fred Campbell. And that one goes down.
Campbell's second basket in the second half. He was scoreless the first 16 minutes, but making a nice contribution.
Came in averaging 6, and that's what he's got tonight so far for the Knights. Their lead now up to 5. Biggest lead of the night for Kimball. Spin move by Fields. Rabb says, get it out of here, please.
Hot City right there. Kimball now, just as they did last night, getting stronger as the game goes along. Great speed and quickness.
Law with the alley, and Alexander Starr with the oop right there for Kimball. Pretty play.
We'll talk about a pretty play. Nice job by Chris Ross making it happen. Didn't get the finish from his teammates, but terrific penetration. Kimball ends the quarter up by 7. Well, a nice move right here by Fields, but how about that swat right there on the Kimball defense? Nice rotation. Good job by Law, bringing it back up the floor to Alexander Starr as Kimball leads John Jay Mustangs 43-6. Back at the Irwin Center on the University of Texas campus, Kimball High of Dallas leads John Jay of San Antonio 43-36. One of the reasons for that big lead, great defense. Watch Patrick Fields here. He'll be penetrating. Jason Rabb will come over on the block, but watch this guy right here. Alexander Starr will take off and get the flush at the other end. Great defense, great job of getting the ball up the floor by the Kimball Knights. Perfect pass right there to Alexander Starr on the finish. Kimball getting stronger as the night goes along.
We saw a lot of plays like that in the semifinal round, and a little spark right there by the Kimball Knights. That was pretty.
Well, Kimball was 8 down in the fourth quarter last night against a very good Midland Lee team and came back to win.
Yeah, I want to congratulate Midland Lee and Fort Bend Hightower for also advancing to the 5A Final Four. 2 well-coached teams, Greg Wise and Coach Kaufman from Midland Lee. Congratulations on a heck of a season. As we start the fourth quarter, the 5A championship. Steve Goff leading John Jay with 19, AC Law with 10 and 5 rebounds, several assists.
Marquez Rembert right there on the putback for the Kimball Knights, upping their margin to 9. 7.5 minutes to go.
Ross to Goff, no good, but Ross right there. That one won't go down. Fred Campbell picks up the loose ball for Kimball.
Terrific effort by Steve Goff. Just wasn't able to get the final putback. Jason Rabb right there on the travel for the Kimball Knights. A little too big a hurry. 9-point advantage. You want to be a little more conservative with 7 minutes to go.
All right, if you're Romy Vela right now, you're down 9. What do you do here in the first 2 minutes of this quarter?
Well, they've got to get several consecutive stops to get their confidence back defensively.
Bivin goes up, Starr with the block. Little contact, says the referee.
It's not so much that John Jay's doing a lot of things wrong. Their floor game's been better here in the second half, but this Kimball defense is just ferocious here in the second half of action. They've stepped it up a notch, just as they did last night in the latter stages of the ball game.
You think the legs are wearing out? They had such a up-tempo game last night.
When you're playing in the state championship game, you've got plenty of adrenaline. They're not going to, neither team will lose this ball game because they're tired.
Bivin so far 5 points, 4 rebounds, 6'3" senior. No good there. And Rabb with the rebound for Kimball. Fred Campbell setting it up. They're gonna nurse the clock a little bit, don't you think?
Well, Kimball's a smart ball club. As we say, they do not depend a lot on the outside shot, so they typically work it for a good shot off of penetration. Right there, example of what we're talking about. Law taking it tough to the bucket, trying to pick up the foul. High percentage shot, just didn't get the good finish.
They needing a big bucket, and they get it from Goff.
Now, Steve Goff, such good hands, nice quickness, moves well without the ball. Now Royce Johnson calling the timeout. A little bit alarmed now. The 9-point lead down to only 6.
This is game 5 of the big state championship Saturday here in Austin. Here's the results. Class 1A, of course, 2 divisions. They played on Thursday to settle the score there. Brock and Nazareth, your winners, and today they play the Texas Cup, the 1A Texas Cup, and Brock wins the cup with a 20-point victory over Nazareth. Same matchup they had in the girls' state tournament.
Yeah, Brock won the girls' state championship in Class 1A. What a year for Brock, right outside of Weatherford, just west of Fort Worth.
Class 2A, Little River Academy, 49-48 over Frankston to win the 2A championship. In Class 3A, Gainesville takes out the Kuntz Lions 79-62. And in the Class 4A championship game played earlier this afternoon here in Austin, the battle of number 1 against number 7 nationally, and number 1 wins out. Dallas Lincoln 71-51 winners over Beaumont Ozan. And Dallas Lincoln, Jim, caps off a 40-0 record. What a season for those guys.
Well, I had not had the opportunity to see Lincoln play in person this year. Of course, I saw them last year, so I knew about their great talent. But that's something really the entire state of Texas can take great pride in. I don't know that we've ever had a number 1 ranked national team in the state of Texas. After watching them this afternoon, they were just terrific. A lot of depth on that team. Of course, Chris Bosch, their 6'10" center, was just fabulous. Brian Hopkins, their star point guard, who was so ballyhooed throughout the season, injured his ankle early and was not able to be nearly as effective as he is many times. But they have a great team, and certainly Coach Bishop and the entire school should be very proud.
Yeah, and Dallas Kimball moving down to 4A next year. Get over to their district, they're going to be in there with Dallas Lincoln.
And there's so many good teams up there in the Metroplex. It's going to continue to be a great battle.
Six minutes left in the fourth. Kimball by 6. Jay with a little pressure right there. And Ross.
Well, nice strategy by Coach Vela coming out of the timeout, going into the trap out of their zone.
Ross whistled for the foul. That'll be his second tonight.
The key to the trapping defense is what your teammates do on the rotation after you get the trap. It's the offside work that is so important.
Rembert on the money.
Well, Rembert's really having a nice state tournament. Played very, very well right last night. Had 17 points and 10 rebounds.
Already 10 tonight for DeMarquez Rembert. 6'5" senior.
Watch DeMarquez Rembert right here knock down the nice outside jumper. He is now one of 3 Kimball Knights in double figures. Law, Starr, and Rembert, all with 10. Leading scorer in the game, the big guy for John Jay, Steve Goff, 21 points and 9 rebounds. 1 rebound away from a double-double.
Loose ball, nice hustle there by Rabb and Jeff Davis. Off the hands of Rabb, and Jay gets it back.
Chris Ross with the ball for John Jay, a very talented point guard. We've told you a couple of times he's their quarterback in football. Nice dish off right there. Good heads-up play by Chris Ross.
Bivens with the finish there after the assist from Ross. Now 7 for Bivens on the night. Rembert. Short. Davis with the rebound.
Well, he had the good shot. He needed to take that one wide open. You can't get too cautious. You got to remember what got you the lead. That was a good shot by the Knights. Nice penetration by Chris Ross. Just didn't get the open look. He was counting for a teammate to break along that baseline open.
AC Law wide open. That one won't go down. Bivens snags the rebound. Tell you what, Kimball's getting the open looks. Jay's hanging in there.
Now, Law had 10 points at the half. He hasn't scratched in this second half of action. Calls for alarm for Coach Royce Johnson. Watch Chris Ross here. Beautiful kickoff. Bivens right there with the good hands. Nice finish for the John Jay Mustangs. That's what Ross was counting on that last possession. His teammates had done a good job when he penetrated and drew the double team. He had teammates open.
Coming up tonight after the game, stick around on Fox Sports Net. It's the Southwest Sports Report. You don't want to miss it. Here's what's coming up tonight on the big show. Dallas Mavs taking on the Golden State Warriors. Now the highlights of that one will take you to Kansas City. See what happened at the Big 12 tournament today. And out to Florida, spring training highlights with the Rangers and Astros. It's the Southwest Sports Report right after the game, every night on Fox Sports Net.
Hey, partner, aren't you usually on that show you were just talking about?
They gave me a break. They
Well,
said, we're sending you to Austin, huh?
Who's bailing you out there tonight, partner?
That would be Dave Benz and John Radigan filling in. I'll be in the hot seat again tomorrow.
You do a great job on that show, really. I enjoyed it so much the other night when you had Derek Harper on there.
Derek's a great guy. We love having folks on and the former players, the coaches, just to talk about the events we got, and we have a good time on the show.
Well, I enjoy watching it.
Keep watching. We appreciate it. Dallas Kimball, fast break points, Jim. They're getting it done. The transition game is in high gear, 12-2 over Jay.
And they do such a good job of filling the lanes in their fast break action. They just break so hard to the bucket, and the key to that, get the ball to the middle of the floor and hit your teammate breaking hard to the bucket. As Royce Johnson giving last-minute instructions here with 4 minutes and 34 ticks left. Kimball could add a 4th state championship to their many glory years if they can hold on here in the last 4.5 minutes.
Steve Goff for Jay, 21 points, 9 rebounds. One more rebound for a double-double. And another big night for the senior.
He was counting on Patrick Fields to float down to the baseline. Good penetration by Chris Ross. Moving without the basketball to the open spot is so important. Oh, great hands by Chris Ross.
Fields tries to go up, but he's hacked by AC Law, so Fields heads to the free throw line.
After watching these quick hands of Chris Ross in action here the last 2 nights, I'm anxious to see him on the football field. I bet he's a magician with that ball as the quarterback of the John Jay Mustangs.
Yeah,
terrific point guard. I really like the way he handles his ball club. Very quick.
Very composed out there. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes. A couple of turnovers tonight, but overall, this is one guy Romy Vela loves to have on the basketball floor. As far as turnovers tonight, Jim, 15 so far for John Jay, and we talked about it, they had 19 yesterday.
And Kimball only has 8. And just think, last night against Midland Lee, Kimball only had 6. So really terrific floor game so far for the Knights here in the state tournament. Fields right there getting only his 8th point of the night. Remember, last night he was the leading scorer in the game with 31.
Jay doing a better job at the free throw
Two
line.
straight steals by Chris Ross. Heady floor leadership offensively and defensively.
The layup won't go down.
He did the hard part, just didn't get the easy finish.
Rimmered out to Law. Law finishes.
Oh, what a reversal right there. Up, they're waving off the bucket, but just think, Chris Ross missed that two that would have brought it within two. Looked like the Knights were going to get the two to bring it back to a 6-point advantage. Take a look right here. Nice penetration by Laws. Nope, Mr. Starr grabbed the rim. Can't do that when the ball's right there on the orange cylinder. Good penetration by Laws. Alexander Starr on the follow. No.
Kimball by 4. 3:39 left in Austin. Back live in Austin, Texas, the capital city. And what a night and what a weekend it's been for high school basketball inside the Frank Irwin Center. Just terrific crowds once again, Jim, and the UIL, as usual, terrific job putting an event such as this on.
Yeah, the biggest crowd in the history of the state tournament was Thursday night when we had the 4A semifinals. This building holds 16,500. They had somehow crammed 16,975 in here. So the all-time biggest crowd in the history of the tournament happened this year. Another good crowd on hand here tonight.
Every possession critical here in the final 3.5 minutes of the fourth quarter. Jay down by 4.
Now the key is to be patient. You've got 3.5 minutes left. Make sure you get a good look at the basket. I'd get the ball to Jeff Davis. He's been the best pure shooter so far tonight for John Jay.
Oh, nice pass.
A nice break down the baseline right there by Patrick Fields. Good teamwork. They were very patient. You saw the end result. Now we've got a 2-point ball game. Let's see if Kimball can do likewise. Both ball clubs played very, very well here in the latter stages of the game, just as you would expect. Both well coached.
Both teams with all the regular starters in the lineup in these final few minutes here of the 5A state championship. Royce Johnson talking to the troops. Got to cut down the mistakes. You got to watch the passes. You got to cut down those turnovers.
Watch this nice teamwork by John Jay. Patrick Fields on the good cut. Then he stayed in there, followed up. Nice putback by the 6'6" senior. He has the high point game in the tournament so far when he got 31 last night against Hightower there. Nice putback. That's point number 10 for Patrick Fields. He now has 41 in the 2 ball games so far in the state tournament.
John Jay getting it done defensively in crunch time, outscoring Kimball 6-0 in the last, technically 3-0.
Well, you asked me what they had to do, and they've done exactly what I said. They had to get the defensive stops. That's the key to this.
Yep.
They had to toughen up defensively. Coach Romy Vela done some nice work out of timeouts. Changing his defense as well.
He's the most relaxed coach I've seen in a while. He doesn't get up very often.
No, he loves his kids, loves the game. He says, hey, what did he tell us before the game? The game will be decided by the players. I'm going to enjoy it.
There's AC Law, no good.
There's that offensive rebounding prowess of Kimball. Jason Rabb on the putback.
Good position there.
What I said early on, I think that's the key to the game for John Jay. Keep Kimball off the offensive glass.
Kimball up 4. John Jay with another turnover. Their 16th of the ball game. Getting the 2-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Law. Don't go, but Starr right there to pick up the loose ball.
Well, Patrick Fields tapped that rebound out of there. He should have gone and grabbed that one. He had position to go and get it. Thought he would tap it out to Chris Ross. Didn't happen.
So Kimball keeps the basketball underneath the basket. 4-point lead. Do you look for something inside or kick it out? Kind of like that.
Well, I was just going to say that 2-3 zone of John Jay is awfully spread. Good idea. Nice job of reading the defense by Kimball. Didn't get the easy finish, though. Well, you got to love it. You come down to the last minute and 45 seconds, only a 4-point differential.
Davis
Jeff
in there for
Davis,
a follow.
goodness gracious, probably the least of all the leapers on the John Jay team, but good job of following that miss by Patrick Fields. Both teams doing a good job of crashing the offensive glass as we near the end of this championship encounter. Watch Jeff Davis right there, just came in there between all the white-shirted Kimball Knights. Good anticipation, nice kick out by Goff to Fields. He had the good shot, just got it a little too far to the right, but how about the heads-up play by Jeff Davis? Nice job by the guy who hurt his ankle in last night's game. Wasn't even sure he would be able to play, but had rehabilitation work done today and somehow found a way to get in tonight's contest.
Yeah, looking strong out there. You talk about a guy like Patrick Fields, Jim, 11 of 13 from the field in the semifinal. Hey, this is basketball. Tonight he's 4 of 11. Got to get the confidence.
And he's made his best plays have been here in the second half, so certainly a terrific competitor. Now let's see what kind of defense John Jay comes back with. Remember, there's no shot clock in high school basketball now. Kimball can milk this thing as long as they want to. I don't think this is like college or pros. John Jay could be forced to play good D for a long time if Kimball elects to hold it out and try to draw a foul, which I think they're going to do. AC Law's taking it on penetration.
Lob misses, loose ball. Jay's.
Well, that was perfect execution by Kimball right there. Great job of penetrating by AC Law.
Number 10 for rebounding, and for Steve Goff, he now has a double-double, 21 points and 10 rebounds, and a very key rebound right there for the Mustangs.
Kimball had great penetration. AC Law said, hey, I'm probably going to get fouled. I'm going to take it tough to the bucket. Right there, Jason Rabb just didn't get the tough finish right there. Good rebound by Steve Goff, which, as you mentioned, gives him a double-double. That's a good cut to the bucket by Rabb. Just an unfortunate finish if you're a Kimball Knight fan or a teammate. Good job on the defensive glass by Steve Goff, the high scorer in the game with 21 points, also the high rebounder with 10. Goff was the number 30 ranked senior in Texas by Mike Kunstadt's Texas Hoops magazine at the start of the year. I think his stock is going up here with his performance in the state tournament.
John Jay advancing to the state tournament. These guys were the runners-up to San Antonio Clark in District 27-5A. They've had some injury problems throughout the year, and Clark had their number in district play, but they bounced back. And, you know, Patrick Fields coming over from San Antonio Taft, when he started playing back in December, these guys are 24-3 with Patrick Fields in the lineup.
As it always is in postseason play, it's the ball clubs that are playing the best at the end of the season. That's what counts. That's the situation with John Jay. Yes, they've lost 9 games throughout the year, but as you said, they've won 24 of their last 27.
Here are the numbers by Steve Goff going out in style tonight. Crowd getting into it with 1:07 to play. 2-point ball game, and this is what you want in championship games.
Well, John Jay had a tough one in their regional final, beating Coach Mike Wacker's Converse Judson Comet Ball Club, and we're used to pressure ball here. 1 minute and 3 ticks left. Let's see what Chris Ross leads his ball club into.
It's the key to be patient here and wait for that open shot.
Well, you've got to believe they're going to try to get the ball to Steve Goff if at all possible. That was the good shot. Ooh, look right there. Goodness gracious, the crowd reacts.
Appeared to be contact, but no whistle for the referees.
It looked like Chris Bivens had the rebound, but stripped away. Crowd erupted. Let's take a look at Bivens now. It's nice penetration. Good job by the 6'8" senior putting the ball on the floor, trying to draw the foul. Yeah, right there. You make the call.
And Jason Rabb got away with the one there. Dallas Kimball in the last 5 minutes, 5-11, only 1 basket for the Knights.
Well, how long will Jay let it go before they foul? Not very long. Put the pressure on AC Law. Law, remember, had 10 points at the half, but he has none here in the second 16 minutes of action.
Chris Jones checked in, gets the foul, quickly checks out. Jeff Davis back in for John Jay as AC Law heads to the free throw line. 74% free throw shooter on the season for the junior.
Now, Kimball's only had 4 chances at the charity stripe tonight. They're 2 out of 4. They're 3 out of 5 now. AC Law now 2 out of 2 at the stripe. Very big point right here. Could become a 2-possession game, which it does. The silky smooth southpaw.
That's what you work on in practice.
Absolutely, in pressure situations.
Got the pressure by Kimball, Jim.
Now Kimball keeps the pressure on. Does not make any difference if they're up by 4. Oh, how about the job by Steve Goff? Nice scoop to the hoop right there. Nice kiss off the glass on the underhand scoop. I like the way the big fella puts the ball on the hardwood and goes to the bucket. Now, this is a 6'8" youngster right here making it happen for the John Jay Mustangs. Terrific scoop to the hoop. Nice finish. Nice strategy by the Mustangs. Get it to your best player and let him make it happen. He's their senior leader.
23 points now for Steve Goff to go with 10 rebounds to lead John Jay. You see the timeouts remaining critical down the stretch. Jay's out of timeouts. Kimball still.
Well, you want your best players to step up at crunch time. Think about this. Goff averaged 18 points during the season. He had 28 last night. He's got 23 here tonight. I would say he stepped up huge. Now, the big key is what will John Jay do defensively, and then what will they do offensively? As you mentioned, no timeouts after this for Coach Vela.
Right.
So they've got to do a lot of strategy here in one timeout.
Well, they just fouled AC Law, who's a 74% free throw shooter. The worst on the court for Kimball would be Jason Rabb at 67%. So do you foul the guy?
Well,
and
let's look for them to go for the steal on the throw-in. If they don't get the steal, I imagine they will foul rather quickly. Kimball has got to bring the ball 94 feet. Yes, John Jay is face guarding. The key is to watch these fellas right here. Nobody on the ball. Well, that's a gutsy effort right there. That's the risk you take. If that pass had not been perfect, then Jay had a chance to come back and tie it or take the lead. Oh, who was that on? That was Steve Goff with the putback. I can't say enough about the execution, though, by Kimball on that baseball pass as John Jay face guarded. Just perfect execution. That's a gamble. Got to admire their, what's the right word, confidence in their ability.
He throws the strike and Rabb finishes.
Yeah, right
Check it out
there.
one more time.
Just an absolutely perfect pass. Jason Rabb on the finish. Now let's watch Steve Goff on the other end. Watch this tip in. Watch number 12 go to the offside. Did it with his left hand. Terrific job by Goff right there. Both ball clubs just playing beautiful basketball here at the end of the ball game.
25 now for Steve Goff, but
it's just a shame to have a loser when you've got 2 ball clubs that have played this well. One of them will go home very happy, and such a little difference between the 2 teams.
No good for Campbell. Ross with the ball. Time running out. No timeouts left. Oh! A 3-point play for Ross.
There is absolutely nothing to say. Look at the replay. Unbelievable effort by the junior point guard, Chris Ross.
On his birthday.
On his birthday, that's right. We saw his mom up there. Happy birthday, Chris Ross. Goodness gracious. That is truly a miracle. Partner, we've seen a miracle.
We have seen it in Austin, folks. And there's the mama. She's proud, isn't she?
That was Chris Ross's only field goal of the ball game. Only field goal for Chris Ross tonight.
Let's take a look at it again, Jim. No timeouts left.
Yeah, he could not, as we said, he could not call the timeout. Kimball did exactly what they should have. Double team at midcourt. He heaved it, nothing but net. Watch this, Kimball defends it perfectly. The Kimball Knights did everything you're supposed to do, but what a play by Chris Ross.
Watching across the court, Jim, I'm wondering now
he
if
runs
Royce
into
Johnson,
Jeff Davis.
I'm wondering if Royce Johnson wants to know if time had run out or not. Let's take a look at it again. As Chris Ross lets it go.
Oh, definitely he had it way before time was out.
0.6 left.
Definitely good.
It was out of his hands. And John Jay, our state champion.
Yeah, as we keep saying, that is Chris Ross's only bucket of the night. What a finish.
You think he's going to remember this one for a little while?
He'll never throw a last-second touchdown pass as quarterback at John Jay that'll be any more spectacular than that. What a finish. Well, partner, we've seen truly a miracle, believe me. That was unbelievable. What great court presence.
Wow. 54-53. And what's going through the minds of the Kimball Knights right now?
As I just said, it was a shame for either team to come away not being the state champion. They both played beautiful basketball.
What a finish in the 5A championship. At the buzzer, the man of the hour, Chris Ross. John Jay, your 5A state champions. We're back in a minute. Right. All right. Out front, Jim.
Okay. This is Jay's first state championship, right?
Right. Sit.
Birthday present. New day at John Jay.
What's you feeling right now?
Oh, I'm sure that it'll hit me a little bit later. I just want to say what a great competitor Chris Ross is. In the last 3 minutes, he stole the ball twice and then took that desperation shot. He knew he was going to make it.
Believe in faith at this point in time. Huh?
What?
Pretty much believe in faith.
Yes, and that's the way it's been for us all year. Every playoff game we've been in, people said we were the underdogs.
Isn't this the storybook, the way it's supposed to be? State championship, half-court shot to win it?
That's beautiful, isn't it? That's just absolutely beautiful. What can I say? You know, we're just going to enjoy this, and I got to tell you what great kids these are. When they were freshmen, they told me, we're going to the state championship, and they've said it every year.